Good morning, everybody. This is James Tiwari from ProSoft Technology Group. I welcome you for today's webinar presented by Naveen Chinta, our Senior Integration Architect. Today's topic could be Cloud Readiness and SalesForce integration with webMethods CloudStreams. I have with me Ankit Malhotra and Sachin Mantri, who are organizers for all the webinars. And this is sixth webinar in our series as part of our Innovation World 2015 campaign. On behalf of ProSoft, being a platinum sponsor for this event, I welcome everybody to the great event. And you can definitely contact us for any special offers or discounts. And without much delay, to those of you who are not aware of ProSoft, I quickly take 2 minutes to introduce who we are. We're founded in 1995, headquartered in Donosco, Illinois. We have a global presence with our offices in United States, Canada, and India. There are 500 associates globally. We are partners to SAP, Software AG, and IBM. And we provide services in the areas of strategy, architecture, development, project management, and business analysis and testing. And this is our core practice area. Business enterprise solutions consists of SAP applications, and integration consists of 3 different technologies, right from SAP NetWeaver, IBM, and Software AG webMethods. And business analytics, our analytics practice, managing information, visualization, and analysis, and support services too. These are our technology partnerships and our customers. And who we are when it comes to webMethods. We are right now the oldest partners to Software AG when it comes to webMethods. Our largest tier 2 webMethods and Software AG consulting services provider. We have proven SOA and ESB reference architecture for agile solution development and delivery models, and indigenously developed tools and frameworks to optimize the application management administration. We offer 3-tier global delivery model, which consists of on-site, off-site, and offshore. We provide managed services and application management and project or solution delivery. So these are some of our technology agnostic core integration services. And this is our full-fledged technology expertise when it comes to integration services. Without much delay, I'll hand it over to Naveen Chinta, today's presenter, to take over from here. Naveen.
Good morning, everyone. In today's webinar, I'm going to talk about webMethods CloudStream solution with integrating with the SaaS applications. So when talking about this agenda, so in this webinar, I'm going to talk about first, I'm going to talk about like an introduction to the cloud and its trend, and then I'm going to talk about like what are the present options we have to integrate with the cloud applications, and then what are the challenges we face with using those options, and then how Software AG come up with their solution called CloudStreams integration, and then I'm going to talk about the architecture of the CloudStreams and its features. And then I'm also going to talk about the installation, design, and runtime monitoring of the CloudStreams. And then finally, I'm going to give a demo. In that, we're going to see how we can integrate a SaaS application. And then finally, we go with the question and answer session. So this by now everybody knows what is cloud and what is cloud computing, but this slide I just want to give information about what are the phases in the cloud computing. So we have 3 phases in the cloud computing, which are like SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. So let's go with like one by one quickly to understand what it does. So SaaS, Gartner defines SaaS as software as a solution. It's like a software that is owned, delivered, and managed remotely by one or more providers. So we just utilize the application for the business needs and we pay as we go. And then the PaaS is defined as a platform as a service, where a platform is provided as a service to support application development deployment and execution on the cloud. And then finally we have the IaaS, integration infrastructure as a service, which provides compute, storage, network resources delivered on demand and real time. And then a part of these three, we also have iPaaS, like integration platform as a solution, and then BPaaS, business platform as a solution. And then I got some slides which shows some of the slides from internet, which shows like what is the trend, how cloud is trending in the present scenario. So this first slide, and also these slides gives us the importance of how the market is going, like how cloud computing going to be in future, and what is the importance of having a integrated.
Hello.
Heavy data and some
Hey,
traditional.
Naveen. Hey, Naveen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there was a glitch in the audio. Actually, we lost the earlier slides. We can't hear you. Can you repeat from the third slide?
Okay.
Yeah, I might want
So
to. You might want to rerun. Actually, I'm very sorry for the. There's actually I can see a lot of people are joining again. Just disconnecting the audio and joining again. So it would be good actually if you rerun all the slides.
sure,
Yeah. Thanks, Naveen.
no problem. All right. So let's. So in this webinar, so let me go over again quickly. So in this webinar, I'm going to talk about cloud introduction. I'm going to give an introduction to the cloud and its trend, how it is going forward, and then I'm going to talk about like what are the integration options we have to integrate SaaS applications with our on-premise applications, and then I'm going to talk about what are the challenges we see with the traditional methods, and then I'm going to talk about like Software Edge's CloudStream solution they provided and its architecture, talk about its features, and then I also going to talk about the installation design runtime monitoring. And then finally, I'm going with a demo of how to integrate. I'll take a simple example connecting to Salesforce and how to integrate Salesforce in the demo, and then I'm going to talk about like how to implement the policies and then how to develop a custom connector. So let's talk about cloud. Like everybody knows cloud. What is cloud? So, but it has like three phases, like SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Uh, SaaS, software as a solution. It's like a Gartner defined. It's like a software that is owned, delivered, and managed remotely by one or more providers. So we just utilize the application for the business needs, and we pay as we go. And then the next phase is like PaaS, platform as a service. Platform service, where platform is provided as a service to support application development, deployment, execution on the cloud. And then the next one is IaaS, infrastructure as a service, which provide like compute, storage, network resources delivered on demand and in real time. Other than these three, there are also like iPaaS, integration platform as a service is one more phase, and then there is one more like BPaaS, business platform as a service. And then I collected some slides from the internet which shows, which gives the information like how cloud is trending and what is the importance and how companies are looking the cloud in the near future. So the present slide, this slide which gives information about applications like about percentage of applications on cloud versus time. So due to rapid growth of new business solutions, workload data, by 2018, they predicted that 60% of the enterprises will have at least half of their infrastructure and applications on cloud. And then this slide will give the information about the cloud market, public cloud market with respect to time. If you notice in this picture, bulk part of the application is on SaaS applications. So most of they are spending more on SaaS applications. And then this picture gives like how much like companies are spending. In 2015, they did an analysis and they found like 42% of the total amount they were spending only on the cloud computing. And then this slide will give the information about like what are some of the install workloads on the cloud versus time, like how much, like, and then their prediction by 2018. So there are like a lot of workloads. They have did an analysis like how many workloads are installed over from 2013 to 2018, and how many there were like PaaS, IaaS, and SaaS. So if you see 59% are like SaaS by 2018. So if by looking at this trend, you can understand what is the importance of cloud going forward and how best we can integrate cloud applications with our on-premise applications. And then let's talk about the options we have to integrate cloud SaaS applications. So right now we have some of the traditional options people are using. Out of those APIs are provided by the SaaS vendors to integrate with their systems. We can use traditional web services to connect and integrate the SaaS applications. We also have sometimes like proprietary adapter to that particular SaaS application to integrate. And sometimes people also use the existing ETL tool just to communicate with the SaaS application. And sometimes we use the HTTP FTP methods to send the data and receive the data. But all of these methods has its own challenges. So let's go to the next slide. So let's talk about what are the challenges. Those challenges, they were like categorized like vendor API challenges. For example, if you talk about vendor API challenges, the APIs provided by SaaS vendors, they are too complex and have like heavy documentation, a lot of documentation. It is like very time consuming to read, understand, and implement the solution. Also, there will be like multiple versions of APIs. They are keep on updating the versions, and it's really we have to implement or update the versions on our end, and it is again like work for the developers. And then the next challenge is like runtime challenges. Like we face bandwidth constraints. Governance is a bigger problem as it cannot provide governance capabilities. And also we have challenges with the usage monitoring, like do not provide good tools or provisions to monitor the usage, like how the transactions are going in, going out. And then security is another bigger challenge as it do not support all the security options. And then when talking about the data challenges, sometimes business require like quick integration solutions with heavy data. And some traditional methods face challenges in implementing the solutions. We need to define data structures of the APIs which are done manually, which is like sometimes like very complex and it's time consuming. So real-time data synchronization is another challenge while implementing the integration solutions. And then this slide will give like some other challenges we see. We see cloud technology is advancing very rapidly, and it is really hard to catch up and maintain good integration solutions with the old traditional methods and tools we have. And then Software KG come up with a solution called CloudStreams. So this solution, it has its features which will overcome all the challenges whatever we noticed it like in our previous slides. So this Software AG CloudStream solution is a connection, like it's like a Software AG webMethods CloudStream provide a connection with any SaaS application with like minimum or no coding at all. So it's like a configuration approach which will be like less complex and saves tons of our time. It provides a visual mapping and transformation using webMethods integration features. It can understand the data constructs from REST WSDL approaches. This solution provides the provision for metadata driven from SaaS and PaaS applications. Also provides a policy-based enforcement and support security. It also provides connection pooling, session management using frameworks, and then also provides a dashboard for traffic analysis and other governance features and monitoring features. Let's talk about the architecture. So this picture, I just want to give you an idea about like where the CloudStream sits actually. So I just took the just a simple webMethods architecture, and I want to show you where the CloudStream sits. The CloudStream sits on the integration server like any regular package like adapter or EDNT package. It's just another packages, some one or two packages on the integration server. And then this slide shows actually talks about the architecture of the CloudStream and its components. Basically, it lies on webMethods integration server, as I told you, and it consists of components like virtual services, connector virtual services, connector pool, and CloudStream connectors. These are like out-of-box connectors we can download from the Software AG. So right now we have like a SalesForce connector, Amazon, NetSuite, LinkedIn, etc. connectors already developed by software which are free, where we can download and use it. Now let's talk about the features of this CloudStream solution provided by Software AG. It provides a connector framework which supports a wizard-driven approach to configure the connector and connections to SaaS applications. It also provides a provision to build our own connectors. If there are no connectors available for a specific SaaS application, then there is a provision to build our own connectors using a development framework. It supports multiple WSDL formats like like everything in Visual which has operations with the concrete input and output. For example, Telio application. For example, we have SalesForce application where Visual metadata on server with the metadata operators, and it also supports Visual with schema type with abstract input and output values. Example, we have NetSuite and Marketo. It also supports multiple Visual by functionality. For example, we have Workday. And then so connector library. So this is another feature we have that it provides, as I told you, it provides like out-of-box connectors in the library. So all you need to do is you need to just download the specific connector for the SaaS application, and you can start using it. It already provided the SOAP API, bulk API, and streaming APIs. It also provides a platform for building custom connectors, and then wizard-driven connectivity. So it provides a provision to configure connections using Wizard, which is simple, less complex, and saves a lot of time. If you're already aware of like adapter connections, it's similar to an adapter connection. And then let's talk about like other features like security. Software AG CloudStream supports security like OAuth 2, HTTP basic, WS security policies. It also supports the DMZ security via webMethods enterprise gateway, and it supports XML thread protection and throttling, message signature, and encryption also. So it supports multiple security options. And the monitoring and management. It provides insight into application usage and real-time dashboard for administrators and consumers. It provides metrics of usage, performance, errors, SLA dashboard at service provider and consumer level. It supports policy-driven logging, monitoring, and SLA data collection. And then the other features are like easy API version. As I talked before, like API version management is very easy. It provides a wizard-driven approach to add or update the API versions and disable the older versions and use the newer versions or vice versa. And it provides quick integration with the on-premise application by using integration server features as it sits on the integration server, web-based integration server. And then policy-driven governance. It provides provision to add and apply policies at one common place so that we can monitor and manage the quality of service for the consumption of SaaS applications. We can enforce SLA-driven policies setting up at consumer level. Also simplify ensuring compliance with the SaaS vendor contracts. So, for example, just to give an idea, like what are the different policies we can implement using like policy actions, we can include WH security policies like requesting a SAML token or a X509 token or WSS user token. You can also implement like policies on security, XML security action type, like requiring a signing or encrypting the data or SSL, or including timestamps, and also you can add like other monitoring actions like service performance, service level agreement, throttling, traffic, or optimization, those kind of things you can add. And then the other feature it provides is like CloudStream Analytics. This is so this is a CloudStream Analytics which is like a user to publish and analyze KPI metrics and runtime events to CloudStream Analytics dashboard. So dashboard enables you to view, analyze KPI metrics and runtime events of CloudStream connections, connection services and consumers. This is powered by Mageon. Mageon is another tool from Software AG. This provides a dashboard which is used to provide like it provides like a views and runtime events and KPI metrics. So let's talk about the CloudStream Analytics features. It provides like a runtime, like details of view, runtime events, and KPI metrics. For example, let's talk about the views. We can have views like connector performance and how APIs is being used, and then errors, trends by consumer or providers, SLA evaluations, and alerts shown by consumer and providers, cloud connector service performance, and also we can view the results of service request transactions. And then in the runtime event section, it provides lifecycle, transaction error, policy validation, and monitoring events. And in the KPI metrics section, it provides metrics like availability, average response time, average like a fault or success count, how many, like we can also collect the count of errors, total request count. So we can take those kind of metrics. And then this slide will give the information of about the installation of the CloudStreams, design time, and runtime. So in this section, like in the installation section, we have to install the CloudStreams software. We can get from Empower. So all you need to do is how you deploy the software. You just need to go to the Empower and deploy the software. And also you need a designer plugin for developing the custom connectors or the policies. And then you need connector packages. So the SaaS connector package depends on which SaaS application you want to kind of integrate. And then you also need a mesh zone because mesh zone, in order to use a CloudStream analytics, you need a mesh zone. Mesh zone is a tool which is a separate tool from Software AG. And if you don't want to use a CloudStream analytics, like if you don't want a dashboard, then you don't need a mesh zone. And in the design section, we need to configure connector, connections, virtual service connector, and create connector service, etc. In the runtime, we have like inbound, outbound, and monitoring. This picture gives the overview of like how the outbound process works. So it talks about like where like on-premise application will send data to SaaS applications, where it first connects to the connector service, and the connector service uses a connection from the connection pool and sends the data to the SaaS application via connector virtual service, and data will be logged in the collector for analysis. And this slide will give the information about like inbound process, where SaaS application send data to the on-premise application, where SaaS application connects to the virtual service to send data, and which then passes to the integration flow service, and then to the on-premise application. Data will be logged again in the collector for analysis. And then I'm gonna discuss. I'm gonna go over with a demo where simple interface which shows how to connect to the SaaS application, for example, SalesForce. And then I'm gonna show you how to add a policy, and then I'm gonna talk about like how to create or build a custom connector. For this, once you load this Software AG, then Software AG CloudStreams software, you should see in your solutions. Under the solution, there is a section called CloudStreams. So this shows like you have successfully loaded the CloudStream software. So, and then you also need the connectors. For example, if you want, in my demo, I want to connect to the Salesforce application. So you need the connector package. So I already downloaded the connector package from the Software AG site. And once you download the that connector package, once you load it, you will see in this provider. I also downloaded other packages for you, for example, like ServiceNow, Striker, and Amazon. So this is where you will see the connector packages. Now let's go and build a simple integration with the SaaS applications. So for this SaaS application integration, so all you need to do is you need to go to your administration, CloudStream administration tool, go to the Salesforce connector, and here you see the different APIs versions. So go to your Salesforce application and you need to create a connection. See, here I already created a connection. All you need to do is you need to give the user ID login and then password, and then everything remains same. So you need to create a connection first for this connector, and then once you have this connection ready, go to your webMethods designer. For example, here I already opened so I'm going to create a service. which will try to connect to the Salesforce application and query some object data. So I'm gonna go to the new and then select a cloud connector service. Here I'm gonna give like a get account 2, and then I'm gonna click next. Here it will show you list of all the connectors you have. So right now I'm gonna select the Salesforce CRM where I want to query, and then it will, this is the connection I added, like I configured a minute ago as I shown you. So I just select this connection and then click finish, and it will show you that this is a built-in virtual service provided by this connector, and then it will ask you like what is the operation you want to do. Here I want to do a query, simple query, so I'm going to use this operation. Click next. Okay, looks like there is a connection. I need to enable the connection to make sure it is up and running. All right, so I'm going to use a query create, and then it will give you like what are the objects you have. So I just want to query the account objects here. I'm going to select account, and then what are the fields you want to select. I just, for this example, I just want to select like a couple of fields and type, and then click finish. So my system is taking some time, but this is how you do the connection to the CloudStream application. And once it is added and saved, when you run it, you will automatically see the results from the directly from the SaaS application account object. So this is very simple. I did not added any code at all. It's like very quick, and then all it needs is like configuration. We need to create a connection and then configuration. So I don't know why it is taking time, maybe the connection issue, but let's go to the next topic. So in the next topic, what I want to show is I want to show you how to add a policy. So in order to add a policy, let me go to CloudStream development. So you have another section called CloudStreams development. This is you get once you download the designer plugin. So here in this section, if you go to the CloudStream governance section, here you will see the policy section where you just need to add a policy here. So if in order to add a policy, create a new policy, and in this policy you will give a name like test policy maybe 4, or I'll give like 5, and then select a service. Like for example, here I want to use a connector virtual service where I want to connect to SaaS application. So I just selected this connector virtual service, click next, and then here you will give the criteria. So for example, it is checking that if it is like a soap, and then you can add one more criteria or any more criteria. So I'm going to add one more criteria where name contains the policy. That's a connector service name contains like test file or like test file. I just add this name and then click finish. So in the next step, it will ask you like what is the action you want to add here. So I'm going to click on the add action, and it will have different policies you can add. So for example, you can have the identity consumer or log invocation. You can also have like a require HTTP basic authentication. You can also have like monitoring policies. So for this case, I have just to use like a log invocation policy. And then it will also give you like options like when do you want to, like how frequency, what is the frequency, like success on failure. I just want to add like on failure, and then that like you want to like log the request and response. Yes, I want. And then the data, where do you want to save the data, on database or the server logs? I just want to use like both. And then here a case like it will give the message like error. So I just select all this information and then I'll save it. So as I told you, my design is slow. I don't know why today. but it's usually it is very fast. Maybe I have a bunch of things running on my laptop. Maybe that might be low. So this is way how you add the policies. And then once you save this policy, you need to enable this policy by clicking like right click, and you need to enable this policy, like activate this policy. Once you activate this policy, then you need to also define a connector virtual service having the name test5, whatever the constraint you added, you need to have that constraint name in that connector service. So once you have this connector service and the policies, you can use this connector service policy into your connector service. So in order to implement a policy, all you need to do is you need to go back to your test service, and then since you added the policy to the connector virtual service, it will show up automatically here. So I have like other custom policy I already added. For example, test 1 to 3 is a policy I added. So this is where I select instead of the default SOAP VS connector service, I'm going to select the my connector service, my added connector service with the policy I have configured. So I'm going to use this service in my configuration, and then I'm going to save it. So this is how you add a policy, and there is absolutely no code at all. All you need is like configuration. And then finally, I want to show you how to build a cloud connector. So in order to build a cloud cloud connector package, so most of the times you will get a package from the software AG or some other vendor, but if you don't have any connector, so you want to build your own connector. So then you need to go to here, the CloudStream connector section, and you need to create a package here. So for example, I already created a package where it will ask you, like for example, you need to go to the file, new, and it is like cloud provider project. Click on here, give a name, CLD project 4 or 5, and then click finish. So you added a project. Now you need to create a connector. Right click here and then give a name, stock 5. I'm going to give stock code 5, and then version, and I can give any versions, and then like STK5, just ID, and then browse. So this is like which one, like your SaaS application, the connector service you want, is it like a SOAP based or REST based? So right now, for example, I'm taking like SOAP based, so I'm going to select the SOAP and go to the next, and then here you need to give the URL. For example, in this example, I want to connect to a generic web service like stock code web service. I have it here, so I'm going to use this web service just to give an idea how to create a connector service. So I'm going to select the URL. I'm going to give the WSDL file, WSDL URL, and then I'm going to give the connector package name, maybe like Cloud Project 5, and then I'm going to click finish. So you should see here a connector is added, like this is a custom connector is added, and you will see details here, services and details here, and if you see the services, connections here, details and services here. So you'll see the method what they have automatically, and then connections, and then there is a file. So this is all, and then once you added this one, you need to deploy. You need to deploy so that it will show up into your designer packages. So I already created here and I deployed here, and go back to the service development and then refresh here. Refresh here, so you should see automatically the stock code here. Okay, this is the connector already, and automatically you will see in your admin page your custom connector. So I already had a CloudStream project 5. This is my custom connector, and this is stock 5 is a connector, and now I need to create a connection. So you just follow the same method to create a connection, configure a new connection. It will automatically, you need to give the URL, and then URL is fine because I took a general web WSDL file. So this is also, I already have a connection developer for my test. So here I created a cloud project 2 is a custom connector. I added a connection here. This is the connection, And if you see, this is the URL of the web service. All right. So once you have this connector ready, then the method is very simple. Like you need to create a connector service to test it. So I'll just go to the connector service. I'll just to create a connector service, new cloud connector service, give a name, test 1, 2, 3, next, and now select your what is your stock code. I think I had a stock code 5. Okay, this is the connector. It will show up, and it will also show up the version you have defined. And go back. I think we need to no, I don't have a connection here, so I'm going to take stock code 1, which has a connection. Okay, this is the connection I already have defined, so I'm going to use this one. Now it automatically takes the CloudStream default SOAP, because I'm using the SOAP to connect to that, and then operations. So it will provide the operations as it has a get code method. So I'm going to use this, select this one, click finish, and then we don't need any business objects. Now save it. Okay. So now let's test this one and see if this works or not. All right, I just want to give you some name. Oh, this will, okay, let's see. Okay, it got the results from the stock web service, which is Google. I given the Google symbol and I got the code back with the date and timestamp. So this is how you develop a custom connector, and how easy to use, configure and use. There is absolutely no code at all. Now let's go back to our demo, our presentation. So I just finished this demo. So the advantage what we have here is like generally, let's go over with the advantages what we have. We have API version management is a very good feature they have provided. They have provided policy and security features, and then the connectors are decoupled. Connection is with respect to connector with its own pools, and easy for a developer to concentrate on logic rather than configuration, how to configure a connection, how to create a connector, those kind of things. And the dashboard feature is available. So these are the summary of features what CloudStream providing. And what the ProSoft brings you. So ProSoft brings you the best practices, standards during your implementation and the solutions architecture. We provide the support on the performance tuning, efficient processing and implementation, support throughout and also after implementation. Now the question and answer session. Let's go with any questions you have. I will give back to Ankit or James or Sachin.
All right. So
Thanks, Naveen.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Sachin. Yeah, Sachin, go ahead with the question and answers.
Right. So we have few questions, and in case during the question and answer session, if anyone has got any further question, please feel free to type it into the question box, and we'll be able to talk about it. So Naveen, starting with the first question, the question is around how webMethod Cloud is related to CloudStream.
webMethod Cloud and CloudStream are two, even the name is like little confusing. There are two different topics. CloudStream is what you have software on your webMethods server on your landscape, and you want to integrate with your SaaS applications. And integration cloud is like iPaaS. As I talked in the before, it's like an integration platform as a solution. So integration cloud is like something they are providing. They are providing a webMethods solution as a service where you can use that solution on the cloud. So you can use it and you can pay as you go. So that's the difference between CloudStreams and the integration cloud.
Okay. So second one I have is, can we perform pull or push operation with CloudStreams?
Yes, we can perform pull and push as I showed you in my demo. For example, in SalesForce demo, we have methods where we can call and pull the data. We can also push the data, and there are also like API streamings also available where you can use directly pull the data, like directly monitor the feeds from the, like for example, Twitter. You want to connect to Twitter and get the feeds. or some other SaaS application, then you can use the API streaming also, and then we can get the data. But in my example, I shown you like we have connected to the Salesforce, and we are doing a pull using their methods.
Okay, thanks. So this is the last question I have, and I'm not seeing any further question coming up. So Naveen, the last question is around the connectors. So what all connectors are provided by Software AG, and where we can find them?
Right now, I see the connectors for Amazon, Salesforce, NetSuite, and then there are some others. So you will find those in Software AG Tech Communications or Tech forums, or also you can check with your in the Empower also. It's like a tech communities is a place where you can have all the connectors, and also in the same section, I guess, in the best practices, sometimes you have the code. So in the same kind of section, you will find all the connectors, available connectors there.
Thanks, Naveen. James, that's all question we had. So over to you.
Yep, thanks, Sachin. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for today's session. Again, I'll be sending out thanks note right after actually a few minutes from now, and you can respond any of your additional questions or queries. You can respond to that email. And as I said in the earlier, any information about Innovation World, you can always place your questions in the email too. We will be definitely glad to address them. Thank you so much. I will look forward to see you in our next webinar. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.